Welcome to another episode of The Best Revenge is Good Living podcast. Now, your host, Larry Oaks.
Let's get this ep started. Oh yes, let's get into this ep. On this episode, we're going to be getting into all that background, all that deep, dark knowledge that, a lot of people either don't know, don't want to talk about, don't want to go into that area, but it's the foundation that you have to work from in order to understand the things that are being perpetrated upon all of us. And we got to get into the players, we got to get into the facilities and the organizations per se. These they're foundations. They are in Rome and in England and in DC, right? They are these sovereign entities, so-called, right? As if I'm not, or you're not, or anyone else is not a sovereign entity. But it's all founded and based upon a belief structure that's false. They've infiltrated from the very first century after Christ. But it's even deeper than that, because depending on where you're at on this earth in 2020, you've been dealt a different hand. And everybody can complain in the United States about their specific, belief of what's going on in their reality, as far as maybe racism, prejudice of some sort. But at the end of the day, if you're in the United States of America in 2020, you're blessed. You're receiving a blessing that has been bestowed upon it long ago, not based on anything that the people that inhabit the United States of America have done or will do, but based on a covenant, based on a promise given long ago by the forefathers of humanity on this earth today. So we're going to get into the topic that has to and has everything to do with the big picture, the 50,000 foot view, looking down upon the story of your life and how these things affect it. So it's deep, and some people will challenge it, and I accept the challenge. So understand that the prince of the power of the air, or Satan, formerly the archangel Lucifer, is the king god of earth, and his demonic beings who created the Nephilim, created the Sumerian race lineage, right? Well, humanity also has a lineage, and there's a lot of folks talking about the Constitution, whether it is good or bad or indifferent, or how it was created, or the people that created it were owners of slavery or owners of slaves and had plantations and whatnot. Okay. And so a lot of people want to go down that road of this narrow vision, or if it is or is not a narrow vision, but the fact of the matter is, even further beyond that, there was covenants, contracts made, and that's what affects us here today in 2020. But if you don't have the foundation to build from, if you have nowhere, if you're in quicksand, every time you get a little nugget of information, it sinks down, and get another little nugget of information, it sinks down. And that's the way it is. That's why, Christ talked about seeds being planted on rocks, because they can't grow roots. They hear information, they get excited about information, and then they wither away. So the foundation that you have to understand, the religion of these people on this earth and these sovereign nations, is Satan's religion and or / witchcraft, right? And you've heard of witchcraft because we're inundated with it. Disney, books, TV, everything. We're inundated and we're so used to terminology, right? But what we don't get and what we don't understand is symbology, is color codes, right? Because everyone who attains certain levels of success to the point where you're famous or infamous meets up with the God of this world, because you do not attain wealth in the form of material wealth on this earth without going up against Satan or Lucifer or whatever image and entity that he wants to present himself to you. And some people join the deal, some people like the deal, some people don't join the deal and don't like the deal, but the deal is still presented to you, and it's up to us to accept or not accept. And some people a majority of the people are lukewarm. They put their toe in the water to feel how it is, and they do that slow burn. They finally, until they get both feet in the water and just dive in head first, and or get out and run, right? And I'm coming from the advantage of a little toe dipped in back in the early 90s in the music industry, and seeing and having that conversation, and so knowing firsthand what's going on, and then going from that foundation in my own experience, in my own life, in my own travels, and dealing with these different entities and individuals, and the deals that they bring before you, and intertwining that in multiple decades and different deals and different industries and different groups of people. So I'm bringing this information to you from the vision of what I've seen in my life doing the things that I've done in music and everything else. But I'm going to tell you that it's witchcraft. And so in this episode, we're going to be getting into the underbelly of the workings of all these institutions and these entities that we see here today, perpetrating as other legitimate entities like media outlets or journalists or politicians or ambassadors or leaders or doctors. Because you have to understand that when you get into the upper echelons of the society, that you are approached by the keepers of the gates to the different organizations and entities and the different covens and the different divisions that they have within the system that's out there in order to corrupt individuals and corrupt this world, being perpetrated upon us by the god of this world, the evil Lucifer, once archangel turned to Satan, and his demonic once angels for good rebelled with Lucifer and came to this earth as demons and are the cause of a lot of pain and sorrow being worked out here below. But in the vein, in the view of what's going on here today, we have to understand the religion and the leaders of this religion and the ideology and the things that they're pushing and the reason that they're pushing it. You know, and it starts in Rome with these popes, right? And the trusts that they have created through Rome, the Vatican City, which is a independent sovereign entity, so-called, along with Washington D.C. as the military arm, and London, the city of London, and London as the financial arm, and of course Rome being the religious arm. And the religion is believed to be Christianity, but it's not. It is witchcraft. And they are carrying out spells and rituals with the unwitting know. Some of them know, but most people believe that they're actually in there, you know, praising Christ. But I was raised Catholic until probably around 16 years old. And again, you have to be willfully ignorant to understand, to know that there's something amiss going on there. Not to mention, when you get into the word, you know that it's going to be a small flock, not billions of people. So long story short, what is billions of people, what was created and what is practiced here by more people than you would want to know and believe, and who are willful participants in order to be part of the things that they are a part of, is witchcraft. You know, and I'm almost 50 years old, and it took me a long time to really understand the depths and the inner workings of witchcraft, you know, and how it works. And a lot of my family from my mom and dad's side are from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And I didn't realize that that's a big hub for witchcraft or for witches. People may know that, may not know that, but it's a fact. And it branches off from there. But you know, there's stories that I've validated through my mother and through my father, where I have been fighting, I would say fighting against Satan and him, you know, wanting me to do his bidding. And I'm not going to lie, I've done a lot of bad things, you know, but I believe that people can grow, and I believe that all humanity is flawed, and the best that we can do is try, right? So under that guise, you know, I've researched and found this stuff out about witchcraft and how they utilize these rituals and these techniques to give themselves what they call the power over people on this earth. And if you don't understand it, then you can't really defend against it, right? And so people want to know how these organizations work, you know, and how these conspiracies that sound like conspiracies, this is how they discount them, because they're saying there can't be that many people in cahoots in order to keep these things quiet, right? But this is just the religious faction of it, where the things start from. But you also have the other factions, you know, in the industries, to where they bring people in and they give them the taste. You know, they give them the taste. They give you, you know, they'll bring you in. You have a lot of talent, and they fly you in first class. They put you in a nice presidential. You know, they shower you with gifts. They give you food that you've never could afford in the past and never have tried. They give you the whole shot. They put the whole dream in front of you to say, we're going to give you a 1 or 2, you know, either a record deal or movie deal or a series deal, whatever the case may be. And then they put the figure out in front of you. And then you have the conversation with somebody, with some entity will come to you in some way, somehow. Sometimes it's verbally, sometimes it's a package is given to you, or sometimes it's subliminally. But either way, you're going to have the conversation and you're going to understand what you're getting into before you get into it. So there's no saying I didn't understand. And not only that, but you're going to get multiple, especially if you're playing the type. But if you are righteous and if you are saying no, then they're going to pull all that stuff away from you. They're going to give you that taste. And all of a sudden, oh, you know what? That album's getting shelved. You know what? We're not going to go ahead and promote this movie. Or we're not going to promote whatever it is this project was that you put your heart and soul into and that you've been dreaming about, and you could taste it and you're right there. Then all of a sudden everything goes crushing down. You get sent back to wherever it is you're from, and you're broke down, right? This is the traditional way they put people together, and then they come back, or you come back. There's some type of little offer that's out there, and then you come back, and then they offer it all back to you. But this time they're saying, what are you willing to do? And you already know if you are, ready to go forward. You already know what you're getting in for, and you're going into it open-eyed. And now it's about how far do you want to go? What club do you want to be in? The $10 million club, the $50 million club, the $100 million club, the billion club, the unlimited black card club. Now you think that you're going to you can buy a home, you have a black card that you can take anywhere and buy anything that you want. How do you qualify to get? What's your credit? What is it about credit that you have to have in order to buy anything that you want? Your value is that no matter what it is you want, you're going to get it, and we'll get it back from you later. Okay? Because it's all fake, and they're going to get it back from you in pounds of flesh, whether it's from you or people that you know. And that's where these people get caught up in it. And there's levels to it, depending on what kind of a player you are. Now, if you're a Kanye West and you came in, he made Jay-Z's Lucifer, the Son of the Morning song. He made D-Evils or Devils, right? He produced those. He gave his mom Coming In on the jump. So he's got credit. He's got shamed already. Because you have to understand there's a couple of rituals. It's either the sex ritual or the shame ritual. That's why they put all these men in dresses. That's why they demasculate men and have these images that we see on television with men to take away their, they have these women talking to them like they're children, letting them and not letting them do things, right? And having these women believe that that's the way things are supposed to be. And, so they either have to go through these steps. And if you're really down, you go through all the steps because you want to go all the way as high as you can go. Right. And so, some people can take it a lot. Some people can take a little bit. Some people will never, they come in and they get a taste and they leave. Some people never make it out. Everybody, you do your investigations on that stuff, but you have to understand how they call them covens. They're like groups of they're in different areas of the nation and the world, and you have to be accepted into these things, and you're groomed just like anything else. But it's this religious wickedness going on, this dark side of spirituality, because there's always yin and yang. There's always two sides of the story, and you have to understand what it is out there before you can defend or make decisions against what's going out there. So we're going to get into this in this series, but I'm checking in and giving you guys that foundation of where we're going. And I'm going to get into that. I'm going to tell the story about Jonathan Davis from Korn, coming from my city where we're at, and the things that I saw with my own eyes and witnessed, and speaking on that topic in entertainment. So for the best revenge is good living, it's your boy Larry Oaks, aka Big Renz. See you next time. Peace and love. Remember, in life, the best revenge is good living. This has been another Pure Entertainment production. All names have been changed to protect the innocent. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to that bitch. Peace.